In today's video, I'm going to be going over easily the weirdest gel blaster I have ever unboxed on this channel. I don't get why a company would ever want to make a blaster like this, but I'm glad they did because I can't wait to review it for you guys. As you can see, this blaster is basically just a dinosaur head that shoots bullets out of its mouth. I bought this blaster for around the $25 price point, but you can't really find this blaster anymore because it kind of got taken off of Amazon. I'm hoping they bring this back to Amazon because even though this blaster might not have the greatest performance of all time, I know a ton of my fans would love to get their hands on this. So without further ado, let's get right into a box of this blaster and see what we got. Okay, to get right into a box of this blaster, we can pull this flap open. Here we got the dinosaur head itself, and that is a lot bigger than I thought this thing was going to be. Wow. I did not know it was going to take up the whole box. But anyways, on the inside, we got a pair of protective eyewear, a gasoline refill bottle, the battery, the charger, the screwdriver. Looks like maybe 2,000 rounds of blue ammo. Then other than that, that's all you got. Oh my god, this thing is absolutely insane. I can't wait to test this thing out, but I can almost guarantee that this thing's not going to have the greatest performance. But anyways, let's take a deeper look into the bag itself. Yeah, it looks like we got 2,500 rounds of blue ammo. To install the battery, we got to take the included screwdriver and screw this piece off. Open that flap up. Then we can take the battery and plug it in. Just like that. Try to fit this thing back in here as nicely as possible, which might be the most difficult part. Then we can take the screw. You don't have to put the screw back in, but just so I can get the best... You don't have to put the screw back in, and neither am I. Then let's test it out. Okay, the on and off switch is right there. It was already on when I turned on the blaster. When you press it, as you can see, the jaws open. Then when you turn it on... That's so funny. Anyways, we got the refill bottle here. Looks like it might hold 200 rounds of ammo, maybe. So let's take this ammo that we got here, load it into this little refill bottle that we got. Then to refill the blaster, you got to open this thing right here. Then you got a weird looking hopper design in there, that's for sure. So dump them in. If I were to guess, that's around a 200 round capacity. Let's close that up. That has a lot more power than I thought it would have had. That is insane. But other than that, I honestly think it's decent build quality. You can definitely tell the plastic is not the greatest quality of all time. It's almost like kids' plastic. But the inside is basically controlled by like a pistol mechanism. It's like you're holding a pistol, but you just got a dinosaur head on top of it. The trigger response is actually crazy for a little kid's blaster like this. The inside, the plastic grip is not the most comfortable thing ever. People with really fat hands will probably not be able to get their hands in there. I do have lanky fingers, so it is kind of uncomfortable to wrap my hands all around the grip. But other than that, I think this blaster is actually really well designed and built. I love how when you shoot it, you can see the eyes glow up, which is actually pretty cool. And then, as you can see, the bolts come out of here. I kind of wish they came out of the mouth because I feel like that'd be a little bit cooler. But other than that, I kind of like this blaster. I didn't know it was going to be this cool. But anyways, let's go test out the FPS and accuracy of this blaster, and that's what I'm most excited for. I just refilled this blaster, and after refilling it, I think it holds more of like 250 to 300 rounds, which is actually kind of crazy for a blaster that looks like this. The jaws open up. Anyways, let's see how fast this blaster shoots. I'm very excited to see what the results on this thing is. It's going to be hard to line it up, though. That's the thing. Shot 1, 129.9. Shot 2, 129.7. Shot 3, 127.5. Shot 4, 130.4. And shot 5, 125.7. That is not the greatest FPS, but that's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And it feels like it's more powerful, though. That's the thing. Like, it does hurt a little bit when I shoot myself in the leg with it. It's going to leave welts. But anyways, I feel like it hurts a lot more than 130 FPS. But anyways, let's see how many RPS it shoots now. I am noticing quite a few misfeeding errors, which is the reason why it's not getting proper readings. Okay, it looks like it's shooting right around 8.5 rounds per second, which is actually decently well for a kid's blaster like this. This thing is so funny. This might be one of my new favorite blasters now. I love this thing so much. But anyways, let's get into the accuracy test to see how accurate this blaster is. Oh my god. Do you guys see that? I'm gonna use the iPhone. That's from shooting myself with this thing. That leaves quite the welt. Oh my god, I didn't know it was gonna be that bad. I wouldn't have done it if it was that bad. Okay, let's just get to the accuracy test now and see how well this thing does. Okay, I got the blaster here, and I got a pair of protective eyewear on because I don't trust this blaster not to shoot the bolts from the target back at me. So let's get right to testing how accurate this blaster is. Am I already out of ammo? No, there's still tons of ammo in here. Yeah, now it's out of ammo. As you might have been able to see, there was a few misfeeding errors, but it didn't happen too much as you would expect with a kid's blaster like this. But since it's gravity fed, I feel like you kind of have to expect that, especially since multiple bullets can try to feed into the shooting chamber at once. You kind of have to expect that. But other than that, this thing shot very well, and the grouping was decently consistent. Since this thing really has no aiming mechanism, it is a little difficult to actually shoot straight. And since you can't really fit two hands in here comfortably, I mean, you can, but it's not the most comfortable thing ever. You can't really shoot that accurately, but the grouping itself is actually surprisingly decent for a blaster like this. But anyways, let's get back to the desk to reveal my final thoughts on this gel blaster. Even though this gel blaster is so stupid, I love this thing so much. The FPS and RPS is what you'd expect from a kid's blaster, even though the RPS was a little bit higher than I thought it was going to be. The FPS was right around that consistent 125 to 130 FPS mark, which is decently good for a $25 gel blaster. And the ammo capacity coming in at around 250 to 300, that's actually really good. And I love the different features that it has, such as really good trigger response. The eyes glow when you shoot it. Along with that, the mouth opens when you do pull the trigger, even if it is turned off. The battery is pretty easy to get to once you just take the screw out and shut it back up. And I honestly am so glad I bought this blaster. When I first bought it, I thought it was going to be a big waste of money, but I really like this thing now. Sadly, this blaster isn't in stock on Amazon as I'm making this video right now, but just in case you do want to try to get this blaster, I'll leave the link down in the description. But other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. If you haven't watched the video or go over the top 10 best cheap gel blasters that you can get in 2025, watch that video up there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you in that video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 10 best cheap gel blasters that you can get in 2025. I'll be basing this list on performance, value, features, gel blaster usability, and overall functionality. I put a lot of time into crafting this list, so I hope you guys enjoy, but some people are going to disagree, but that's okay. But anyways,